Yo, what's good, family? It's your boy Patrick, and you're tuned in to another fire episode on Vibe Vault. Now listen, we've been talking a lot about the legends, the icons, and the all-time greats, but today we're diving into someone who's straight up changing the game right before our eyes. A guy who's been turning heads, making plays that don't even look real, and got the whole NBA and the world talking. I'm talking about none other than LaMelo Ball, the Charlotte Hornets phenom. But before we go any further, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and let's dive into why LaMelo could be the player the NBA has been waiting for. I'm telling you, by the end of this video, you might be ready to put LaMelo in that next level category. All right, check this out. LaMelo Ball ain't just playing basketball. Nah, fam, he's rewriting the script. He's out there breaking ankles, making passes you didn't even know were possible, and dropping buckets like it's a video game. I mean, the way he plays. It's like watching a streetballer come to life in the NBA, mixing that playground flair with elite level talent. Now, I know we've seen flashy players before. I mean, we're talking about guys like Allen Iverson, who brought streetball into the NBA spotlight in the 90s. But LaMelo? He's got that same raw energy, but with a modern twist. Every game feels like he's auditioning for a mixtape. And the best part? He's doing it in the NBA against the best defenders in the world. Now, let me tell you about the first time I saw LaMelo on the court. This dude was hitting step-back threes from the logo like it was nothing. It wasn't just the shots, though. It was the confidence, the swagger, and the ease with which he did it. It was like, yo, is this dude for real? And yeah, he was. But here's the thing. LaMelo doesn't just play to get highlights. This man is about his craft, and that's what makes him so special. You can see it in his game. Every move, every pass, every bucket, it all comes from the heart. He's not just out there for the paycheck. LaMelo plays for the love of the game, and you can feel that. All right, let's talk about the evolution of his game for a second. LaMelo didn't just come out of nowhere, and anyone who says he did clearly didn't watch his high school days. I mean, dude was dropping half-court shots, throwing behind-the-back passes, and straight up pulling off circus shots before anyone even knew his name. Coming out of Chino Hills, LaMelo was already a walking highlight reel. But as he got to the NBA, the question was, could he translate that flair into winning basketball? Spoiler alert, he's done it, and he's done it big. One of the things that sets LaMelo apart is his ability to do what others can't even dream of. He's the guy who pulls off a one-legged fadeaway three in crunch time and leaves defenders looking lost. It's like he's playing a different game, and the rest of the NBA is just trying to catch up. And don't get it twisted, it's not just his scoring. The dude can pass. And I mean pass. Watching him dish out those no-look, behind-the-back assists? Wild. He's got eyes in the back of his head. And he's been putting his teammates in positions to shine. Here's where things get real interesting. I'm going to say something that might sound a little wild, but hear me out. LaMelo Ball might just be the NBA's modern-day Allen Iverson. Yeah, I said it. Now, I'm not talking about the style of play. LaMelo isn't crossing dudes up the way AI did in his prime, but it's the attitude, the flair, and the way he's changing the culture of the game. Just like AI was back in the day, LaMelo's playing with a chip on his shoulder, and he's doing things that make you go, wait, what just happened? And don't get it twisted, LaMelo has that same type of star power. The kid's got charisma, he's got swagger, and he's got the talent to back it all up. He's got the kind of game that makes fans fall in love with basketball again. And in today's NBA, that's exactly what we need. Let's talk about the state of the NBA right now. If you've been paying attention, you know the league has been struggling with viewership. There's been a lot of talk about the game becoming too predictable. Every team is shooting threes, running the same plays, and there's not a lot of excitement left. I mean, how many times can you watch the same high-efficiency, three-point heavy, pick-and-roll offense? It's like watching a video game on autopilot. Sure, it works, but it's not exactly making fans jump out of their seats. But that's where LaMelo comes in. The dude plays with creativity, with flair, and with that raw streetball energy that makes the game exciting again. He's the kind of player who gets people to put their phones down, lean in, and say, "Did you see that?" That's what the NBA needs. Someone who can bring the excitement back to the game. And look, LaMelo's been doing it his way. Sure, he's taking a ton of threes, but his threes aren't your typical catch-and-shoot corner shots. Nah, this dude is pulling up from deep, fading away, doing step backs and just straight up making defenders look silly. He's bringing that streetball flavor back to the NBA, and it's exactly what the league needs. Let's break down some of the craziest things LaMelo has done on the court this season. I mean, we're talking about some insane highlights here. We've all seen him pull off ridiculous no-look passes, but how about when he hit a step-back, one-legged fadeaway three over Giannis Antetokounmpo? Let that sink in. Giannis, the reigning Finals MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, and LaMelo's out there making him look like a traffic cone. It's crazy. And this ain't a one-off thing either. LaMelo's been doing stuff like this all season long. Take that transition play where he throws an alley-oop without even jumping. Bro, that's just next-level basketball. Then there's the play where he stops on a dime, hits a step-back three, and leaves both defenders looking lost. It's almost like watching a magician at work, except this is real life and it's happening in the NBA. All right, now let's talk about the numbers. I know stats can be dry, but trust me, when you see these numbers, you'll understand why LaMelo's been so hyped this season. Right now, LaMelo is averaging 31 points per game. That's right, 31. That puts him right up there with guys like Giannis, LeBron, KD, and Curry. And you know what's even crazier? He's doing it his way. Not with the typical three-point heavy shooting, but with wild, out-of-the-box plays that nobody else would even attempt. Let's talk about the context. This man's doing it against elite defenders. We're talking about guys like Giannis, who's considered one of the best defenders in the league. And LaMelo's out here cooking him like it's nothing. That's how you know LaMelo's on a different level. Now, here's where things get tricky. The NBA has always been a league where the ultimate goal is winning a championship. But here's the problem. That emphasis on winning has led to teams focusing on efficiency over everything else. The result? A lot of boring basketball that looks more like a math equation than an actual game. LaMelo's style doesn't fit that mold. He's out here breaking all the rules, playing with the kind of creativity that's been missing in the NBA for a minute. The NBA loves efficiency, but LaMelo's showing us that you can win while still keeping it entertaining. And that's where the NBA needs to make a choice. Do they want a league that's full of robotic, efficient players? Or do they want to bring back the excitement, the creativity, and the flair that made basketball the beautiful game it is? So, what does all this mean for LaMelo Ball and the future of the NBA? Well, in my opinion, LaMelo is more than just a player. He's a game changer, a disruptor, a breath of fresh air in a league that's been a little too predictable. His style of play isn't just about highlights and flashy moves. It's about showing the world that basketball can still be fun, still be creative, and still be full of surprises. The NBA is all about the future, and LaMelo Ball is leading the charge. He's out here showing us that it's not just about rings and efficiency, it's about doing things your way, breaking boundaries, and making basketball as exciting as it's ever been. He's the type of player that draws crowds, gets kids into the game, and makes basketball feel like a cultural movement rather than just a sport. And you know what? I think LaMelo's just getting started. This kid is only scratching the surface of what he can do, and if he stays on this trajectory, we're looking at a future MVP, a perennial all-star, and maybe even a guy who changes how we think about basketball in the 21st century. He's already an icon in the making, and it's only a matter of time before the rest of the world catches up to what we're witnessing. So, what do you think? Is LaMelo Ball the future of the NBA? Is he the player who can take the league to new heights with his style and swagger? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to hear what you think about this young phenom. And if you're feeling what we're talking about here, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more fire content like this. Until next time, this is Reginald, and you've been vibing with Vibe Vault. Stay tuned, stay hyped, and keep watching the game evolve, because LaMelo Ball is just getting started. Peace.